Tell me you love me.
Thankful I kept my job through COVID.
Yeah, that's good too.
Yep.
What else?
Welcome back to the Jojitorium.
Well, I think, remember too, whenever we found the German Scheiser porn. Let's not lie to each other. You're in twerk classes over there. That's what
Yeah. That's all it is.
The fitness class.
Working on them TikTok videos you like so much.
Dead face.
Got right in front of you.
Welcome back to Jojitorium. You know who it is. It's Adam. It's Matt. We're decaying with the boys, and Long Island belongs to MJF. Hop Nation versus Weekly Recap. The battleground is set, and the Warriors are squaring off just like they know how to, with beer. So head on over to Creekside Beer to pick up custom 4-packs from each podcast to see which show can reign supreme. While you're doing your research, how about following and listening to both Hop Nation and the Weekly Recap to get your beer news, insight to the craft beer biz, and some laughs along the way. Plus, Creekside Beer is offering more beer than you can handle for this holiday season. Make it a hoppy holiday season, but just make sure you tell them all the boys sent you. Adam, we're at my house today.
Yeah. We're at the second studio location.
Yes, this is the offsite studio. The fandom outside of the Jojitorium got too hot, so we had to pull a Beatles and go somewhere else to record this episode.
Thanks for doing it on an evening where Creekside was open. Or Connie Creek, sorry.
Yes.
Connie Creek.
Our friend of the
Creekside is
podcast.
also open tonight.
Yes,
Go get beer there.
And check out those custom 4-packs. Those guys, that's a cool little showdown.
Yes.
They just didn't invite us because they didn't want to get beat.
Yeah,
so
it would have been
you know,
big L on their chin.
you guys would have just had a bunch of dents. It just would have been a bunch of dents. So I want to say this is probably our Christmas episode. I'd say.
Yeah, as far as a live thing, I don't know if you want to let everybody know what we're doing for next week, but
Yeah. Well, the gift we're giving each other for next week is we're going to take a week off because we've been going hot, man. So we're going to take a week off and we're going to give you guys a nice little best of episode. We picked some of our favorite segments from this past I think it's going to be like 43 or 44 episodes. Almost a year, but we're going to give you guys a little treat, little snacky cake of our favorite things. But since it is our Christmas episode, Adam, I got you Christmas gifts.
Oh, I didn't get you nothing. Nah, I got you.
Bullshit.
Gifts. I got you gift too.
So I got you some gifts, and I got you some pretty cool stuff that I think I'm surprised you haven't been able to guess what it is. But I put it in a beer cooler. So, yeah,
so festive. Likewise, I put mine in it's a birthday gift bag, but I put red and green paper on top.
Oh my goodness!
This just proves that we're the guys and we don't do most of the wrapping for our family.
Yeah, this is definitely.
So you first. I'll just lay it out for you. There's something on top.
Okay.
Then I think you probably can feel with your leg that you're resting the bag on. There might be beer under it.
Yeah.
Go with the 2-pack first, because those are like the 2-pack's the cooler of the beer.
I'm gonna say right now, you're saying 2-pack.
Yeah. You know what it is.
I already know what it is, but I'm so happy that you did it. Oh, you got a custom T-shirt.
So even though our T-shirts got taken down, I got you a T-shirt.
Thank you so
for
much,
Decay
man.
with the boys. And if we did our episode where you got punished a little bit earlier, I would have threw that picture of you all sauced on the back of it.
Oh,
it is just
our
logo on the front.
Oh, you're wonderful.
You're safe.
Thanks. Yes, I knew it. Triple Shakes barrel aged. Yeah. You're the fucking man,
in
dude.
Some what barrel did they put? Four Roses.
Yeah, that's why I tried to pre-order some and I couldn't get to it.
Then I got you some more stout /
chunky
Christmassy.
Boy. Oh, this is so cool,
so
man.
It's four different ones. There's 2 chunky boys, but one's maple and one is raspberry stout, I believe. Yeah. And then the Rogue,
a chocolate chipotle.
The Rogue Kringle Crusher, just because it's wrestling themed and Christmas themed.
I love it.
And then I forget what that one is.
Is this for my boss at Arboretum? No, this is Maslin. I just saw the the label. Cool, man. Thank you so much, man.
You got it, man.
You always hook me up.
Congrats.
All right, so
yes. First, he got me a cool beer cooler. You're not getting this back.
Yeah, you can have that. That's gone through. You can see how I had to tie the thing together. It's not even like a real strap anymore.
See that?
So I got you a custom belt it says home brewing champion with Bash Brew, and that's an extender.
Is that an extender?
in case you get fat?
I'll just throw it over my shoulder like Paul White.
Yeah, and then I got you one of the sweetest fucking shirts I could find.
Touch my camera through the fence.
Yes.
Thanks, brother.
No problem, man. You see, too,
yeah.
on the belt, you got Joji on the one side and you got Tucky on the other side.
I see that.
Yeah.
That is freaking awesome.
Thanks, man. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm totally wearing this. I'm totally going to need the extender, too.
Yeah, so like, the extender works there, too, because you could like just put the stickies on there, and you can make it extra chonky.
Awesome, sir. I appreciate it. Just hang out in the background.
Yeah.
When we go video, that'll be in the background of my video.
Hell yeah, dude.
Thanks, brother.
You're very welcome. Man, Christmas is always just fun.
The only sad part is I just saw our good buddy Jim, who also appreciates Fed Smoker.
Yes.
Or I would have wore that shirt to the Christmas party. Maybe I'll see if he's coming to the Christmas party Sunday. I'll wear it.
Yeah. Oh, dude, he'll really appreciate that. Oh, man. So, Merry Christmas, Adam.
Merry Christmas.
Yes, thank you for having a great year of podcasting and beer making and all the shenanigans, and so and usually you're supposed to do what you're thankful for around Christmas time, but I do it around Christmas time, and I am thankful for you.
I'm thankful that the brewery did good stuff. I'm just thankful for myself.
You motherfucker.
I mean, I'm thankful for the gift you got.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for giving me nice stuff.
Yeah.
But I mean,
dude, you're my best friend. What are you doing?
You're cool too.
All right.
I'm thankful for my new car I got this year.
Yeah. That's a nice new car. Yeah.
That's about it.
Tell me you love me.
Thankful I kept my job through COVID.
Yeah, that's good too.
Yep.
What else? You're such a piece of shit right now.
Thankful I'm thankful. This is a pretty good one.
Okay.
I'm thankful the Pens are on a winning streak.
Are you thankful that Ben Roethlisberger is going to retire at the end of the season?
Yes. More than our friendship, actually.
Oh my God, dude! Well, you said it. You said it. It's in
I am
your
thankful
list.
for our friendship.
No, thank you very much.
Just below how thankful I am that he's done.
Understandable.
But you understand that.
Of course.
You should feel the same way.
Yes. All right, Adam. So we are in round one. You brought some really great beers. Put them together. Round one beers. What do we got?
Well, I'm going to let you introduce it because on my way up here, I was like, oh, it's about 4 o'clock. Kearney Creek opens at 4 o'clock. Let me grab some drafts and see if they have any Christmas beer. So you're familiar with this brewery, so I'll let you roll with the round one.
So Kearney Creek, based out of beautiful New Kensington, Pennsylvania, brings us their winter ale. It's 12th. It's TWELF-25, so 12, which is pretty cool.
1225.
1225. And it's a winter ale with orange blossom, honey, ginger, cinnamon, and cloves. Clocks in at 8%. And I can tell you that Lee, this is one of his staple beers around this time of year, and I'm so happy you grabbed us some.
I will say I was there enjoying a few beverages and grabbing a bite to eat for about 35 minutes. And I think I saw a dozen of these 6-packs walk out the door. It is popular.
So if you want to find out what's going on with Kearney Creek, all you have to do is search them out on all social media. It's Kearney Creek, Conny Creek, common spelling, and you can see what's up with them. They have a great kitchen. I believe that Lee's wife is a cook, and you could tell. I mean, just the way the food comes out of there. And there's always a rotating beer. So you took your first sip. So what's up?
Yeah, very good. I think I don't know what style this is. Oh, winter ale. Okay, yeah, very winter ale. Got a nice malt on it. I did have it on draft there. And I got a little less of the clove on draft. This one's a little more clovey, a lot of cinnamon, get that ginger bite, and the honey and orange blossom are there too. I mean, it's really good. I felt like on draft I got a little bit more of the orange flavor, a little bit less of the clove, but still just a really good. Yeah. When you think Christmas beer, this is a Christmas beer. Yeah,
it's really good. And I would say this is my best amateur scientist guess at the why that happened, because with the orange, with it being citrus and having more head from draft, you're probably smelling it more too.
That's possible.
Which gives it, and then clove is such a heavy spice that it probably sits well in the cans. It does warm your chest up a little bit, doesn't it?
Yeah. No, I mean, 8%, yeah.
It's really good.
It's doing well. So I had this, and I had oh crap, I forget what it was called. It was a cherry honey.
Yeah.
Belgian. It was really good.
Delicious,
So I was
yeah.
between those two, and this one was a little more Christmassy.
Yeah.
So
I was hoping, I like had my fingers crossed. I was like, please put out one of the Coffee Camp series for Christmas. I was hoping for like a hot chocolate, something or other, you know what I mean? But a fat man can dream, you know?
dreaming. I checked on that. They still had the pumpkin from Thanksgiving,
Which is good.
Which was good.
It's
yeah.
good.
I've had that one. And they had a squash beer on that I didn't get to, but I might stop on my way home.
I was going to say, it sounds really good. What'd you get to eat? What'd you eat?
Oh, the chicken tacos were
Yeah.
phenomenal. So it was a special for today or the week or whatever,
Nice.
but really good because like usually chicken tacos are, you know, they throw chicken, they put you know, toppings on it. It's in a tortilla, chicken taco.
Call it taco.
But the chicken was seasoned super well, like you would make them at home. Like
Nice.
very flavorful, a little bit of spice. You know, had the cumin in there, so very good, delicious.
I always feel like when they're cooking over there, they're cooking as if they were cooking for their friends at home.
Yeah, and it was big. Like it was
Yeah.
2 soft tacos, but they were like almost like burrito size shells, like very filling.
I get their bar pie every once in a while, the barbecue chicken bar pie.
I was looking at the buffalo chicken quesadilla, and then I saw the tacos. And I was like, man,
tacos. So speaking of epic historic meals, UFC put on an epic historic card.
yeah, it's been a bit, but this weekend was
Yeah.
a great one.
We saw some of the titans of the UFC actually get put in their place. What was this? This is 269. This happened this past weekend, and we saw some big names featured here. So what I want to do is just kind of go through because this card's setting up some epic battles later on. So let's start with one fight in the preliminary I just want to touch base on real quick is Dominic Cruz and Pedro Munoz. Dominic Cruz was kind of on a fall off for a while, and just watching him in this preliminary match, he looked really good.
If the opponent lets him move around him the way he does, then he can still score. I think he lost a little bit of speed when he had so much time off for injuries, like a year and a half of his career.
Yeah.
And then when he came back is when he looked not quite himself and lost a few close fights and got dominated a couple times too. But yeah, he looked a lot fresher, had that spring in his step. I hope he's just getting better and it wasn't the opponent was mismatched. But I think we'll see. He's not done yet. So
With it being a decision win, it was a decision win despite the fact that it was pretty dominant, I think, by Dominic Cruz. Like you were saying before, he had lost a step, but you could tell the quickness was coming back. He was knocking rust off as he was going.
That was
through the
all
rounds.
his style. Like unanimous decision win is his forte. Like he's just gonna punch you, jab you, hit you with a couple shots that might stumble you, but he's not like the
not a
knockout
knockout
guy.
artist,
And
yeah.
he's not a submission guy. He's not a ground guy. So
Well, didn't they call him a freestyle fighter too? Like him
Yeah.
and Forrest Griffin, I think, the last two like dying breed for freestyle fighters.
Yeah,
so
yeah, I believe
that's cool.
so.
But I like to see Dominic Cruz get back in it, man. I like him a lot. I want to see what he can do next. So let's get into the main card here. We saw Sugar Sean O'Malley taking on Rulian Palva. It was a TKO in the first round. Almost went to the second round here. There's about 18 seconds left in the first round before O'Malley laid in some heat.
in O'Malley style, they
Yep.
finished exactly how you thought it would. Might have taken a little longer than I expected, but
Yeah.
ended the way I thought it would.
He's just a powerful guy. For like, if you look at him, you're like, he's pretty skinny. You don't really see a lot to him, but he just knows how to wind up his hands.
Yep.
They're just so heavy, and he puts every ounce of him goes into that punch, and you could tell it every time. But his gas tank is endless. He's throwing bombs,
Right.
and he
Oh,
never
yeah.
gasses.
No.
That's why he's dangerous all the way through, and then you see that too as he goes. The TKO going into almost the end of the round. Speaking of TKOs, the next one at flyweight here is Kai Kara France taking on Cody Garbrandt, and Cody Garbrandt.
Man, I don't know what he thought he was doing there, man.
I don't know, man. And that chin is looking like a chandelier.
He was cocky. He was doing his little dance moves and his taunts, and he got caught. Caught hard.
Didn't he learn his lesson at all?
Apparently not.
He just, yeah, it's a shame because at one point Garbrandt was going to be the guy.
After he toppled Cruz.
Took out
Dominantly,
Cruz. And then he got humbled hard after that, and then it just never came back. I almost thought because his contract was in question for a while there too. It looks like he got extended for a couple fights.
Yeah, I thought he might have been on his way out. There were rumors of him going to that bare knuckle fighting league and stuff like that. Yeah,
Man, that's brutal.
Oh, yeah.
I watched a couple of them, and I actually cringe a little bit when I'm watching because you can hear like the slap of the knuckle. Ooh,
I saw Chris Lieben just retired from that
Yeah.
league like a few months ago.
Lieben's like 70 years old. He has that shitty tattoo.
He was in Ultimate Fighter 1.
Yes.
He
Terrifying.
just retired. He won his retirement fight.
That's good.
Barely.
He fought some young kid too, didn't he? Yeah. Grandpa came out there and knocked your fucking block off.
Could have died. Grandpa's still dying his hair red, but he knocked your block off.
So moving on to the welterweights here, we have Jeff Neal taking on Santiago Ponzinibbio. Ponzinibbio. I took a shot at it.
You nailed the first name.
See, what I was trying to do is trying to say it as quick as I could so you couldn't catch me.
I got you.
Yeah,
It was
I don't know.
pretty far off.
Why couldn't you get me 4 name pronunciation skills for Christmas?
So yeah, I mean, I didn't know a lot about Geoff Neal or Jeff Neal. I don't know how you pronounce his name. Which should be the easiest.
There you go, motherfucker. I only say Jeff because I remember Jeff Rowley from
Yeah.
skateboarding.
Yeah. So, kind of the upset of the night for me, though. I knew Ponzinibbio going in, which is why I knew how to say his name. And it was a close match. I mean, split decision win for Jeff, but
Yeah.
I mean, you could argue it either way. I mean, I thought it was scored correctly, to be honest.
Yeah, the scorecard looks about right. I mean, there's 130 to 27 in there that I'd like to see. Go back and look at that round. I'd like to see how that looked. And then we move on to a fight that we talked about this matchup previously in some other episodes. We didn't know if it was going to happen or not. So Juliana Penne, I always say Penne.
Pena.
Thank you. Taking on Amanda Nunes. This is a match that had to happen because of the ranking system and all the shit talking. I didn't see this coming, man. Talk about an upset here. Is a rear naked choke submission in the second round, little bit after halfway through. It never looked like Nunes had her feet.
No.
Never looked like it.
She got rocked by a stiff, I want to say it was a straight in the first round, and like just was off from there. And she didn't really come off. She seemed a little flat-footed the whole time. And I got caught because they were doing the introductions, and I sent you a text and said it was a picture of Pena, and I said about to get crushed by the lioness.
Yeah.
Boy, was I wrong.
Oh, dude, she came in with the heat, man. That was a complete fight for Pena. That right there.
It's dominant.
If she could fight like that, there's nobody that's going to be able to step up to her. Smart fight plan, moving in and out, stiff shots. Her punch selection was limited but smart.
And it was perfect.
Yeah.
Everything was perfectly timed. I mean, I've seen her fight before, and I know she's a good fighter, but she's never looked that crisp, that dominant.
Yeah.
Just very few missteps in the whole fight. I don't know if it was new coaching, a new training regimen, luck. I don't want to take anything away. I don't think it was luck, but I don't know. Right time, right place. I'm not sure, but
Yeah.
I think it had to either be a new coaching regimen or a new game plan, something, and it was incredible.
Yeah, I really liked the outcome of this too because, Pena talked a lot of shit, man, and she backed it up. And one of the things she said post-fight that I couldn't fucking believe is they should make a new belt for me because I actually had a kid, and Amanda Nunes just adopted a kid, and I was like, that's not cool, man. You just took a cut, and so clearly. And we'll get into this here in a second. You got to run it back.
I was pretty lit during this too. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I think I was like 10 hams deep.
Yeah, 10
By this
hams
time,
deep is roughly 3 craft beers.
I was watching it in the Jojitorium. Oh, I think I had some craft beers before I got into the hams too. So I was like pretty lit, like because I completely forgot to text you back because I was just so floored. And then my stream went out for the main event, but so I was trying to work on that. But yeah, I heard Pena came out and said.
Yeah,
she thinks Nunes deserves a rematch. So I think they're definitely going to run it back.
Yeah, they'll run it back. It's a smart and big money.
Absolutely.
Match. Yeah,
Especially now with the upset in there.
yeah. Mm-hmm. And then you set up the trilogy
Right.
You know, if Nunes can get the belt back. So they were looking at Charles Oliveira taking on Dustin Poirier. So this match was actually pretty cool.
The McGregor killer.
Yes. The man who sent McGregor to eat chicken McNuggets because he looks puffy as fuck. As a thick man, I recognize thick recognizes thick.
Welcome to the team,
Yeah.
Connor.
Glad to have you on board. We love your whiskey. But the champion rings true. He exposed Dustin's lack of ground game with a beautiful rear naked choke submission in the third round, a little bit over a minute into it. Led in with some strategic punches, got into the inside of Dustin, worked his way to the ground, and then just took it. I mean, smart fight plan. Smart fight plan.
Yeah. I mean, it's just what Oliveira does. It was a great fight. Poirier well past deserved the shot. I don't know where he goes from here. Like it's I don't feel like he's going to get back into the title picture before he's done. He's been fighting for so long.
Yeah.
Such a shame because he seems like a really nice guy, like down to earth family guy. But Oliveira just dominant.
Yeah, he looked really good.
Because Oliveira, like his weakness when he first came into the UFC was his stand-up game wasn't super strong.
Yeah.
But his ground game, his submissions game, jiu-jitsu has always been ridiculous.
Yeah.
And now he's getting that striking. He's like
Looking
he's
good.
becoming unstoppable.
Yeah.
In
It's kind of
in
scary.
some facets. Yeah.
It's kind of scary. So we move on to some fights that we want to see after 269's card ends here. And this is coming from some critics and then some suggestions from us. So first and foremost, Oliveira taking on Justin Gaethje.
Gaethje.
Yeah.
I can agree with that.
Yeah, I'd like that because now with Oliveira's striking and Gaethje's Homer Simpson style
Eating
punches,
punches.
eat punches to death.
But it's also you got Oliveira's jiu-jitsu against Gaethje's wrestling. So,
yeah, which is really cool.
yeah, as long as Gaethje can block the takedowns and get in dominant positions on the ground and stay out of this. I don't know how good his jiu-jitsu is, but
We'll see.
We'll find out.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to find out. And then we're going to look at Poirier versus Michael Chandler, which would be a good bout. That's not a bad bout.
I like that.
Yeah, and also, too, let's not forget here, anytime Dustin takes an L, you know McGregor and one of the Diaz brothers is waiting in the wings to talk shit. So you never know. It could be a Dustin versus a returning somebody.
Better not be a McGregor 3. We already
Yeah, we know that's going to work out.
we already saw it twice.
Yes. Saw it twice, and one of them resulted in a broken leg. So, and then, of course, we already said Pena and Nunez, too. That's going to happen. That's a solid. If it doesn't happen, that's insane. But you know what would be really smart? Put a little time on
The
it.
only way that wouldn't happen is if Nunez doesn't want to do it. I think
Yeah.
it's just up to her. Like she's been holding. She still has a belt, right?
Yeah, she was
so
two-timing.
There's
yeah.
that too. Maybe she has to go defend in the other weight class first. Who knows?
That's true, man. Which you might have to
I
do.
completely forgot about that until
Yeah.
until you just mentioned it. I was like, yeah, she lost one belt.
Yeah,
She still has.
still has the other one.
So
And
this was the lighter weight
Yeah.
of the two. I was gonna say
Yeah.
because that was the other thing. Pena looked small compared
Yes.
to Nunez, like side by side, and she was just wow.
And this is
I
the
gotta
same,
watch that back again. That was
yeah,
amazing.
me too. This is the same weight class that Dana White's talking about eliminating for women. So there wasn't any competition.
Hopefully Pena brings it to prominence.
I was already say. He was saying there's no challengers for Nunez. What are we gonna do? Well, I think you just found out what you're gonna do.
Boom.
Yeah, right there. Shook the whole thing up. And then last but not least here, we're gonna see Sean O'Malley taking on Dominic Cruz, which we thought would be a great matchup. Dominic Cruz's speed, if he can continue to regain it, will be beneficial. And then I think too, when you see Sean O'Malley's power, that's huge. Just knowing that O'Malley has a snooze button in his right hand, just waiting.
Yeah.
And then,
That's a really cool fight because you got Cruz's footwork against O'Malley's power,
Yep.
and it'll be a real. I mean, yeah, it'll be something to see.
I would
Cruz
like
is gonna
that.
have his dancing shoes on. 'Cause
Yeah, man.
He's got to avoid that right.
You have to, man. And O'Malley loads it up all fight, man. He's looking to land it, and he shows it to you too. He's not scared. You could telegraph him as much as you can hope that you can, but he's still landing it with consistency and a ton of power.
Although when he goes up against bigger names, that's when he falters too. So it's an interesting fight. Either way, Dana, make these fights. I got UFC stock, so
Exactly. I want to make money.
It's the only thing going up right now.
It's recession proof. So, speaking of Nate Diaz, we had mentioned earlier that anytime Dustin Poirier loses at all, there's a Diaz or a McGregor waiting in the wings here. So, of course, as soon as Dustin got done with his presser at the end of 269, Diaz extended a fight via Twitter. He said, "I'll fight DP in January. Don't be a scared little bitch. This time now or never." So, of course, Poirier, being the consummate professional that he is, responded on the MMA Hour, stating that he would love to have a go with the Stockton Slapper.
Yeah, I don't know if he'll be ready to go in January. He just fought in December.
And he fought a champion.
When the hell was the last time? I mean, it might have been last month, and I just didn't care about the card. When's the last time Nate Diaz fought?
He hasn't.
Yeah.
He's been holding, so he tried to do what McGregor did. He's like, I'm going to hold out for money. But the thing is
your name's not as big.
Yeah, we can't, who are we going to pay you to fight, buddy? Who are we going to pay you to fight? Every time we've put you in a main card bout, you won one time against McGregor, and that was cool. And then after that, what happened? So I don't know. I'd like to see Dustin knock the shit out of Diaz. I would love to see it. But I think, honestly, if anyone can give Dustin a weird run for his money, it's probably one of the Diaz.
Oh,
I
think it's definitely Nate Diaz, because Nate Diaz is such a he's such a weird stand-up fighter where he looks like he doesn't know what he's doing, and then he catches you, and then as soon as he gets you to the ground, you're toast.
It's over. Yeah, because he's so long.
But he'll just sneak in what looks like a slow, weak-looking jab, and it just knocks people loopy.
Yeah.
There's just so much
Just
power,
takes
I guess, in
jaws.
his short range game that. Damn, I don't know.
Yeah, I like it. I like to see it happen. If it can, if it can't, I'm also not gonna be too sad
Throw him
about
against
it.
Paul.
Yeah, there you go. Go make that bank.
Either of them.
Yeah. So speaking of money and making bank, the UFC wants their fighters to pay for their COVID tests. So as UFC continues to become the continued dominant MMA product that it is, it had a reputation of treating their fighters very well during the COVID restrictions and getting the COVID bouts on. One of those things was covering all the habitual frequent testing for their fighters. And now the UFC has said it's incumbent upon you, the fighter, and your team to test yourselves. You guys take on the costs, you guys do all the testing, and you report to us.
It doesn't make any sense.
It's terrible.
Is the UFC really hurting that bad? They should
No.
be doing better because they have crowds.
Yeah. Well, glad you said that, because they're actually set up to meet a $1 billion with a B $billion revenue this year because of the ESPN deal and all the blockbuster pay-per-views they've had.
So I'm sure they're paying for more tests than we think. I'm sure it's not just the fighters. They probably have to test the whole team for the fighters.
Yeah.
But a lot of the cards they put on, especially during COVID times, was they'd get 6 teams in the building and just have their fighters kind of fill up that card.
Yeah.
Which is smart. It was good
Yeah.
planning. I mean, it just doesn't make sense, especially I feel like through parts, not to get political, but through parts of the year, Dana White was very vocal about not being for vaccinations, not worrying about it. But to go from that to being oh, no, we're not so much worried about the COVID, but we're worried about our finances. It's just, it leaves a weird taste in my mouth.
But it also leads to this thing, too. The one thing I thought about after all of that conversation was, so now you could potentially have a blockbuster fight. Think about, Juliana taking on Amanda second time for that belt, and all of a sudden Nunez is like, well, I couldn't afford the testing, so none of my team got tested the week before the fight. And then you cancel a fight like that.
I mean, but I'm not even worried about it for somebody like Nunez's level. What happens to your undercard fighters that are
What about O'Malley?
literally living fight to fight? Even O'Malley's not at a level where I'm sure he has some sponsorship deals outside of
but not
fighting,
like some of these other guys.
but not he's not getting paid like a champion. He's not getting paid I
Right.
don't even think he's ranked top 10 yet. I know
no.
he was, and then he lost that fight,
and they knocked him down in a sec. But I'm going to say, I think the hard part for him is going to be, fighters like him, is going to be what kind of testing is the UFC going to require? Is it going to be the rapid result test? Because those things are $175 a piece.
I just saw. It's funny enough. I went and got my booster this week.
Yeah.
And as I'm like sitting there waiting my 15 minutes, I'm facing like, it was like all the tests. It was like
The
drug
menu.
tests. It was like drug tests and COVID tests. And I was just like, oh, how much does this stuff cost? And I'm like looking, I was like, yeah, a rapid COVID test for at home was $170 at Walgreens.
That's
Like,
insane.
it's crazy.
And then you imagine too, that's your take-home test from Walgreens.
It was even crazier that they just, well, maybe it was just an empty box on the shelves and you have to ask the pharmacy because it was just sitting there. I'm like,
It's like yoink.
you lock up the razor blades. You should probably lock up the
that up.
170.
I think more people are going to go after that
Yeah.
thing than more about shaving their face. So, Adam, 'tis the season to be jolly and to buy some stuff. So we're going to throw it to our sponsors. And of course, our sponsors are Lucky 13. The deal's still going on right now. You buy one holiday shirt, you get another one free. So you need a stocking stuffer, they're perfect. And also, too, we're going to throw in a little bit of a commercial from our friends over at the Breakup Gaming Society. So that's a group of people that like to drink booze just like us, play board games kind of like me, and talk shop.
Ooh, I love that idea.
Yeah,
That's
dude.
a cool idea.
There's such a fun crew of people to listen to. So if you like what you hear, check out our sponsors and check out the Breakup Gaming Society. And they'll love to have you guys be part of their team. All right. See you guys on the other side.
If you like board game nights that feature a random cast of screw-ups along with lots of booze and expertly curated golden era hip-hop, then Breakup Gaming Society is saving a seat for you, my friend. Give us a listen at breakupgamingsociety.com or find us on Spotify. Thanks.
Nice ink, Adam.
Yeah, I got your name on my ass.
I was talking about your forearm, though.
Oh, yeah. Well, I've been taking care of it.
Yeah, it looks great, man. What are you using?
I'm using Lucky 13's tattoo cleanser and healing ointment. This ointment is incredibly fresh and invigorating. It effectively removes all surface oils and dirt while not dehydrating your new tattoo.
Dude, I actually got some of Lucky 13's tattoo balm. It's all natural, not oily, and applies easily. The balm improved my color and definition, and the vibrance on this ink makes it look like it's brand new.
Oh, yeah, man. I found their products after taking their online quiz and it pointed me in the right direction.
Hey, guess what? And right now, if you use our promo code MATA193529, you can save 25% on your entire order from their site.
From the first line of your tattoo to the first year of your tattoo and beyond, Lucky 13 has you covered to keep that ink looking fresh.
Welcome back. Hopefully you heard something that you like. Because again, if you support our sponsors, you support us. And don't forget to check out our friends at Break Gaming Society. So I threw it out to our social media platforms. I said universe last time, which sounded really
It's either multiverse or platform. Matt.
very pretentious to say my universe, because
No, that just means our listeners mean so much to you.
They do.
encompass your whole universe.
they really
I'll
do.
defend you.
Thank you.
Because I'm thankful for you, Matt.
Finally! It only took him a whole half to think.
Well,
What?
I had to get through the stuff I was really grateful for. And
Motherfucker. So I put it out to our fans and I asked you guys, do you open presents on Christmas Eve? Because sometimes that is a tradition for some people. And 34% of you guys said yes. And then the other 66% of you said no. This is kind of a toss up. We do it here in my household because we leave Christmas for the kids. So my wife and I exchange gifts on Christmas Eve.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
As a kid,
Yeah.
as a young kid like your kids are, I really wanted to do that because I knew kids that were in that 34%.
Yeah.
They got to open like a thing or two. And one year my mom gave in and she was sly about it. Because she's like, yeah, you and your brother can both open one gift. And it was socks.
Smart.
And I was like, yep, never going to ask for this again.
Mama Bashla knew what she was
I was
doing.
so mad. But no, we celebrate with the in-laws on New Year's, or not New Year's Eve, Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
So technically, I guess we do. But as far as household and as far as our household, no, we open everything on Christmas Day. But
Yeah.
no kids, so I know my brother and sister. Like we're celebrating with my family a day late this year. Same reason my brother and sister-in-law have young kids, the same age as your kids. So they're doing Christmas, Santa's coming at their house, then the next day coming down. So it's sometimes you have to adjust. So it's cool.
So I actually coordinated the births of our children with your brother. I said, hey, man, I'm going to have a kid now. You have a kid. Our kids are like months apart from each other.
I think aren't each of your firstborns like weeks apart? It's
Yeah.
like 2 weeks, almost
I-
exactly.
We almost like saw our cars cross each other
Yeah.
as we were exiting, they were entering. Yeah, so it's kind of cool because every time we do get to link up with your family, it's kind of like my wife and then your brother's wife are like, and their names rhyme too. I didn't even think about that. Casey and Stacy.
Yeah, that's true.
So they like kind of team up and are like, this is some shit. And then me and Logan are just drinking our asses off at these cookouts.
You just see me burning money in the yard. Like, look at what I got, guys.
Oh shit. So Adam, we are in round 2. You already brought us a delicious Christmas treat for the first set. So we're in round 2. You brought some more beers, put them together. Round 2 beers. That was on point.
That was pretty
So
good.
what'd you bring for us?
So I have us some Saucer Sled Record made by Acclamation Brewing in Verona, PA. And I lost the notes, but it is a cran apple sour, smoothie sour, coming in at 6.2%. And it is it's actually a version of their Pilsner that they soured. And then after fermentation, they loaded it up with cranberry, tart apple, and vanilla. So let's crack it open.
Ooh, Sand's coming to town. So, if you want to find out what's happening at Acclamation Brewing, search them out on all social media, Acclamation Brewing. And they are very active. And I can tell you right now, because I decided to crack this beer way earlier, and I was taking sips out of it already. And it's for a smoothie sour, the mouthfeel isn't as thick as you usually get for a smoothie.
Yeah, I really enjoy that.
Yeah, and that's the other thing too. I don't like I usually stay away from the smoothie sours only because of the thickness of them.
I did miss that. It is a smoothie sour, so there's also lactose in it.
Yeah, which
For
is,
everybody out there.
but it's really good, man.
I think that all goes into them using that Pilsner base
Yeah.
for the base of the sour. Really works out well. I'm getting a little bit of the cranberry. I get a lot of the apple and a lot of the vanilla, and it's really nice.
Those two things shine through pretty hard for me. I can definitely taste the apple first and foremost. I can get the cranberry right at the end. That bitterness of a cranberry plays at the
It
end.
tastes like a dessert.
Yeah, it's really
So this
good.
is kind of the flip side of a Christmas beer.
Yeah.
Like you have Christmas fruits in this one for the smoothie sour, or we had Christmas spice
Yeah.
in the Connie Creek offering. So
Yeah, and
both
both
very good beers.
But yeah, exactly. Both fantastic Christmas beers, and it kind of gives you a side of each. So, and as guys who are in craft beer, we see people who want the spicy and some people who want the fruity.
Yeah.
So this gives you two great options.
And I will say Connie Creek more my style, being a winter ale and,
Yes.
and kind of being a spicier one. This one's, I mean, smoothie sours, I usually go, but
This
as far as
one's-
the smoothie sour goes, this one's really good for me. So
I really do like this too. 'Cause I'm with you. I tend to go towards that spicy side, but I'm really glad you brought this to my attention because every once in a while you do need a palate breaker, and I really believe this is a good one to have for sure. So, Adam, during the Christmas season, you get all these Christmas movies shoved down your throat. Miracle on 34th Street,
sucks.
hate it. What else? Elf, dumb.
It's a Wonderful Life.
It's a Wonderful Life. But you know they don't talk to you enough about Christmas horror movies because that's what really rings in the season. Blood, gore, guts, mayhem, psychopaths dressed as Santa Claus, crazy hornswoggles dressed as elves. It gets nuts. And that's what I live and die for around the holiday season because every single production company, look at you, A24, you don't stop coming out with Christmas horror movies. Some of them are good. Some of them are really not
Asylum,
good.
stop it.
Yeah, please, God. You and Gravitas, pump the fucking brakes.
All of it.
So, Adam, challenge you to the Mount Rushmore of Christmas horror movies.
That was an extra growl on that challenge.
I really like this one a lot.
Oh, I thought you were pushing out a Yule log.
I'm a sucker for Christmas horror movies and anthology horror movies. So this is where I really like to. I like this a lot. It's actually
I
was
know one that covers both of those. Might be on my list.
possibly, but Adam, just so you know, we did get some new listeners.
Yeah,
So
run them through how this works.
this is a snake draft. So Adam and I have to come up with our 4 best options. In this round, I'm going to go first. So it's me to Adam, Adam to me, and then we have to keep
No,
going.
it's not really a snake draft anymore, I guess. We keep saying that.
Yeah.
But without 3 people, it's not really.
That's
it's
true.
just a back and
Yeah.
forth.
That's a back and that's a
Yeah,
debate
so it's just
then.
a draft, standard draft.
Back and forth, and if I take Adam's first round pick, he better have a solid number 2 that could be a number 1, and so on and so forth. So while we ask for 4 from each of us, you probably should have at least 8 to 10. And then, too, we always have some leftover goodies to talk about. And then we decide to take the 8 that we've decided upon and find the 4 that we want to give to you guys to look at for during the Christmas season so you can actually stack up your horror movie to scare your fucking family during Christmas time. That's what I want to do.
So, Matt, you keep track of this crap.
Yeah.
Who goes first?
Me, baby.
Okay, good.
Me. And I'm about to
Because
fuck your dreams
my first
up.
pick is probably going to... If I picked it, it probably would have stole yours, I think.
I think so, because what you need to do for Christmas time is you want to, whenever you're trying to show a horror movie to your family for Christmas time, you kind of want to let them know what's going to happen. So the title really says it all. So I'm going to go with a 1974 classic. I'm going to go with Black Christmas, originally called Silent Night, Evil Night. It's based on the great urban legend of the babysitter downstairs and the children upstairs and the killers in the house. The phone calls coming from inside the house. It's kind of like based off of that. So this movie was actually considered one of the original slashers, which you know is one of my favorite genres, looking at Scream, looking at Hatchet. We're looking at those things.
Your dick, this is my first choice.
Yes. I'm glad I stole it from you.
It should be almost everybody's first choice for Christmas.
It should be. And it's been remade twice now. Both of them actually...
They got progressively worse.
They got progressively worse, but if you look at in terms of like horror movies around Christmas time, they hold up.
No, I wouldn't say that. I would say yes for the
2006. Yeah.
yes, but not
2019.
The latest one was a PG-13 version,
wasn't
and
good.
it sucked.
Yeah, it wasn't
I did
hot.
watch the 2006 version this week, actually.
Yeah, which is really good.
And it's still
enjoy it.
good enough.
They
Funny, good story.
Yeah.
Pretty twisted. Actually, more twisted than the original as far as the story goes.
Yeah. Golden Boy.
Golden Boy, a little bit of incest.
A little bit.
Yeah, so it gets a little weird.
Yeah.
Somebody's brother is also somebody's dad. Like, it gets weird.
It gets a little convoluted.
but
you gotta
yeah,
pay attention a lot.
The original is definitely the best.
So I'm going to go with the 1974 classic, and I'm also going to say, too, another reason why I picked it, again, is because it's one of the OG slashers and was critically acclaimed, and not only critically acclaimed, but also in the horror community accepted as a great horror movie in general.
And I'm going to screw this up, but it was either written, produced, directed, something behind the scenes is the same guy that did A Christmas Story. Fun fact.
That's a pretty...
Yes.
That makes me like that movie a little more now.
Yeah. I think it was the same producer. Maybe you can. Maybe we'll look it up.
We'll look that up,
before
yeah.
the end.
So, Adam, it's on you, man. Can you recover?
Yep. Oh, I'm going to recover.
Okay.
Because I'm going to take one that I know is near and dear to your hearts, and it's one I like to watch every Christmas. Made by a very, very acclaimed director, Steven Spielberg. And it's
Motherfucker.
Gremlins.
Yeah!
If you're going to take Black Christmas, then Gremlins instantly becomes my number one.
It's my number 2.
And it was just a very refreshing horror movie, especially for when it came out. I can't speak too much for that, but knowing the genre, because I think it also came out before I was born. Was that 84 that Gremlins came out?
1984.
Yeah. So, year before I was born, but it was also in the era of slashers. Like, that was half a decade, 8 years or so after, or 6 years or so after Halloween came out.
Yes.
Slashers were super hot.
Yep. And 10 years after Black Christmas
right.
came out. Yeah.
So Gremlins was refreshing because you got a little bit of a creature feature, a little bit of comedy, a little bit of horror, very goofy. Favorite scene is definitely when they send Grandma up her chair,
She gets
her
fucking
stair
launched.
chair and launched out the front window. Great scene. But yeah, just a great Christmas time.
Yeah.
Classic to enjoy, which is also some. I mean, there's nothing too violent. If you have preteen to teenage kiddos, it's fine.
They can hang.
Yeah.
I'd also say, too, one of the big things is that it was actually, there was a lot of debate over that for a while, whether or not it was a horror movie or a Christmas movie. And now Steven Spielberg actually came out and said, as the executive producer of that film, that it is, in fact, a Christmas horror movie. So stop the debate whether it's Christmas or horror. It is a Christmas horror movie. And it was my number 2 pick. You're brilliant because you saw it coming. But I think my other ones...
My 1 and 2... My 1 was always going to be Gremlins, to be honest, but Black Christmas was my second for sure.
Yeah.
And then my list would have just dominated yours. I figured you were going to take one of those.
Yeah, I was definitely... Yeah, those two are on the top here. But I am going to go with a more modern movie from a number 2 pick. I believe that this movie was smart. It was cheeky, if I could say something different in an adjective world. So it's all about home intrusion, misguided love, a twisted young soul. It's Better Watch Out from 2016.
Choke on your fucking candy cane, Matt, because that was definitely my number 2 choice.
Yes! I'm winning! So Better Watch Out, 2016 film. This whole thing just devolves into a tale of the misplaced emotion and trickery and plot twists and gore and death and a very twisted view of love.
Home invasion.
Yeah.
Betrayal. You don't want to spoil too much.
I know. But you have to watch it. It's such a great movie.
Yeah, it's a great movie. There's not a lot you can say.
No, without giving it away.
Without giving a bunch away.
I'll just say the twist happens early,
yeah.
and then it's awesome.
Yeah.
Great movie. Check it out. Better Watch Out.
I will say my favorite part, because I just checked it out on Matt's recommendation this holiday season. It does involve a kill from Home Alone that we discussed in the last episode. That's all I'll say. And you can see it coming from about 5 minutes away.
Yeah.
But it's executed wonderfully.
The payoff is very nice. So, Adam, can you recover for number 2?
That's tough. I've now used up 3 of my movies, and I'm only in my second pick. So I guess I'm gonna have to default a little movie from 2015 featuring Adam Scott and Toni Collette of Hereditary fame. It's Krampus.
Krampus is fun, man.
So I'm gonna go with Krampus for my second pick because my quality of movies just drops drastically from there. As far as good movies.
Yeah.
Krampus was a fun movie. Yeah. Good. I forget who did this movie, but I know it's somebody that did good, like, little creature, not little creature features, but, like, was a good monster maker in past movies, and I really wish I remembered who it was. But just the creatures, the monsters, the imagery of this movie is really cool. A little CGI heavy, which is why it definitely wasn't going to be my first choice. But good comedy with Adam Scott in there too.
Right.
Just a solid movie.
Yeah, I would agree with that too. And plus, nothing is scarier than the anti-Santa Claus, which everyone freaks out about.
Kind of makes me happy when there's somebody ruining Christmas.
There has to be somebody, and that Grinch is a bitch. So we have to get something a little more muscle, and that's where Krampus comes in. Now, Adam, for my third round pick, this is a movie you may not have watched, so I may need to break this down a little more for you. But again, another modern horror that I really enjoyed here. I got to watch on Netflix a couple years ago when I was on a trip for training, and it was in 2018. It's called Await Further Instructions. Fantastic movie here. So a family attempts to get through a tumultuous Christmas dinner. There's all kinds of collision. A very abusive, a truculent father kind of coming down on his son. They all eat and they say, fuck this, we're all going to separate for the night. And when they wake up, the whole house is coated in a mysterious black substance they can't get out. And the TV gives them all these instructions on how to survive. They're injecting each other with weird substances. They're cutting parts of their own bodies out. So there's everything. It's gore, it's body horror, it's everything. And there's tension inside the house. Await Further Instructions ending. The ending to that movie is so brutal that I can't even explain it, that it needs to be watched. So for my third round pick, I'm picking Await Further Instructions.
It was on my list of stuff to watch that maybe would make my list, but I never made it to watching it. I heard it was good though.
It's brutal.
I can't say for or against it.
Love that movie.
That makes me wonder what to say next.
So I think this is the first time I've ever had you on the ropes during a Mount Rushmore.
Because I have a brutal one.
Okay.
It's not necessarily like super Christmassy. It's a foreign film. Yeah.
Do it. Yeah. Or you save it for round 4.
No, this is not one for the kiddos, everybody. It's called Inside. And it's...
Oh, yeah.
It's a foreign film. It's about a pregnant lady So if you get triggered by any of this, don't watch it.
Yeah, trigger fucking warning.
Yeah, pregnant lady. It's very brutal. There's a home invader. Who's another woman who wants to make a nativity scene. That's how I'll put it. And it's a very gory body horror splatterfest. But it's very brutal. I mean, I do like that. But it's a tough watch. But it's horror and it's Christmas time.
You took my number 4 pick.
So I'm going with that for my number 3. Yeah. That probably wouldn't have even made my list, but Matt's taken so many of mine.
That was my number 4.
Yeah, my number 4 is going to be pathetic at this point, I think.
Not as pathetic as mine because I'm going back to a movie that I scared the shit out of my nephews with by accident. So way back whenever I was hanging out with my nephews for Christmas time, they're, Uncle Matt, let's watch a movie. And at the time, my brother was like the first person to jump on streaming services. So like, let's stream something. Oh, we want to watch this movie. Can you put it on? So I typed it in. I typed in Jack Frost. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. I know what that is. Click it. Okay.
You put on the wrong one.
Oh, shit. So the Jack Frost that we started to watch, unbeknownst to me, is when a serial killer is in transit to go to the penitentiary for solitary confinement. They collide with a chemical truck. And his body becomes the first thing it touches, which is snow. So he becomes a murderous Frosty the Snowman. And he kills Shannon Elizabeth. So I'm going in my 4th round pick because I have to throw a curveball in there somewhere. I'm going with Jack Frost, man.
So your soft nephews wanted to watch the, I believe that's Michael Keaton.
It is Michael Keaton. And it's like, Dad, I miss you because you died or something like that.
Yeah, and then they put his spirit in the snowman.
Yeah.
You know what? Both of them should have got blow dried.
Why wouldn't you put your dad's soul in like a refrigerator or something? Like it can last.
So this is the last pick, right? You didn't pick the horror anthology I thought you were going to take.
Which one's that?
A Christmas Horror Story?
No,
Did you ever see that?
I did
it's
see it.
Bad.
I like it because it has the.
Wait, they make your top 4.
I
mean, it's not great.
Doesn't the bum fight like a security guard or some shit?
There's that. There's Santa killing all his zombie elves.
Yeah,
it's my favorite.
So good. Yeah,
that's not my number 4 either. You were just about to type that down.
I was about to put that on the list.
So Matt, I'm between 2, and since I have the last pick, I can just talk out loud. I'm between Santa's Sleigh, which is a great comedy horror movie,
and it has Goldberg in it.
It uses some language you can't say anymore.
Yeah,
both words, both words that I needed to learn. That everybody should not say anymore. So I'm gonna go with my number 4 pick as Rare Exports. Great
movie,
a Finnish movie that I just saw again this year, but it really topped the list. You have some Finnish children that break into an excavation site in their hometown, and they figure out they're digging for Santa.
Yeah.
And Santa's not so nice.
No.
And either Santa's Sleigh or this one, Santa's not so nice. But they capture an elf who is the creepiest motherfucker I've ever seen. He stares at children that it creep me out, and a lot of naked, bearded old men, elves throwing freaking pickaxes around.
Trigger warning.
Yeah. If you don't like naked, bearded old men, don't watch this movie.
Shit.
Although I don't think you see any tinkle dinkers. I think it's just
it's just odd.
It's weird.
Odd.
But yeah, great movie. Just a fun little weird movie.
Yeah.
But definitely
I enjoyed it.
Definitely hits the reason for the season for me.
Absolutely.
Definitely a Christmas horror movie.
I think we have 8 solid ones, man.
Yeah, it was well done.
Do you have any other ones that you didn't try to put on?
There were Puka, which is on Hulu.
It was good.
I liked.
Yeah.
It was a little boring in the middle. I watched that a couple years ago. There was one I watched last night that was god awful. What was it called? Oh, Dead End. Never watched this movie. Never watched this movie. I saw it on a bunch of lists online saying it was like top 10.
I'll try it out.
It was terribly produced.
Shit.
And it was boring. There was no gore. It sucked. And it was very... It also used language that does not hold up in 2021.
Think like...
Not that I'm canceling a movie for that.
It's like WWF 1992.
Because Santa's Sleigh is still good, even though it uses the F word and the R word. Like,
a lot.
There's a lot of R words.
Yeah. And he also has to spear
But it's Goldberg.
somebody.
It's Goldberg. And he kicks a dog, which is my favorite. Listen to Halloween is Forever covered it in
Oh,
great
yeah.
detail. Listen to them. Because it is worth watching for a good laugh.
Absolutely.
What else was on my list? A movie that could have taken the spot from Rare Exports or Inside. A little movie called Christmas Evil, which I think was in the 1970s. And it's just about it's everything that Santa Claus with Tim Allen should have been.
Yeah.
Where it's a guy just being demented, thinking he was Santa Claus, and like creeping on kids and killing people with toys. It was a pretty good movie. It was a little slow, but it was 1970s. It's 1970s horror. You really have to give it some leeway.
You do.
And it was a lot better than Dead End, which was,
Yes.
I think, was 2006.
It was so bad. It was so
Or
bad.
2003. It was terrible.
It looks like the first movie that was ever filmed on an iPhone.
No, other than that, one of the two of us said it. Yeah, that's it.
So I got two for you that I didn't get to use. One of which is
And I had a Christmas Horror Story, but
yeah.
it wasn't.
But I like that one.
Strong.
I'm surprised you didn't use this one. Silent Night, Deadly Night from 1984.
Thought about it.
Great one about mental health and
Thought about
trauma.
I honestly like the second one better than the first one
I do too. Yeah.
because
And-
it's funny.
And I was gonna put one on here just to piss you off. If you were stealing some of mine, I had this one to put on there just to make you mad as a Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yeah, I would have.
I know. I could already. Your ears got so red as I said it.
I wouldn't have let you put that one on. It's not horror.
It is.
It's not.
See, this is why I would have done
Then I'm
it.
putting Scrooged on because there's ghosts.
Yeah, that works.
Oh, then that's my number one pick.
Nope, can't go back.
It's not horror. It's not horror.
What?
It's spooky. It's spooky. It's not horror.
What is horror though, but spooky?
But it's more than. It's
Okay.
gory.
All I'm saying is, if our friends can win with Beetlejuice,
I mean, our number
win with
three,
Nightmare Before
our number
Christmas.
3 picks respectively might make people throw up.
Yep. Yes.
So
Yep.
Nightmare
Never mind.
Before Christmas isn't quite holding up.
Take a back seat. So, Adam, we have 8 solid picks, and we actually had some fun ones on the side too. But we got to pick 4 that we want to give to people to spice up the family cinema night there with the popcorn on Christmas night. So.
I kind of have an idea of where it should go. I
Okay.
just think
Let me hear
we
it.
need to rank them.
Okay.
I think it's solid. I think we have a solid fall off after each of our first 2 picks
I believe so too.
in production, in value, in
I
anything. So I think our first 4 picks are the top 4.
Well-
It's just how do we rank them?
I only want to say that await further instructions.
Maybe because I haven't seen that,
Deserves
so
it.
I can't say here or there about that
Okay.
just because I haven't.
So
The one I did not make it to this year.
what I'll do then is, because you haven't watched it, I think once you watch it, you'll see how brutal it is. But I agree with you, your first statement too, that without knowing await further instructions, that our 1 and 2 picks definitely make the Mount Rushmore here.
Oh yeah, and I
Yeah.
think, yes, I think in that order. As far as Christmas horror,
Mm-hmm.
Black Christmas is definitely the more horror
Yes.
involved. The better movie is Gremlins.
Yeah, I can agree with that. Production wise and storytelling, it is the better movie. But the only reason why I want to put Black Christmas above Gremlins, for 2 reasons. And it's from what I said earlier, it was critically acclaimed as a horror movie, and then it was among watching and using agreed upon as a great horror Christmas movie.
I agree.
While Gremlins had some debate. But that's not to say that I think Gremlins.
Well, Gremlins is a little more silly and
It is.
lighthearted.
But I think it's the only reason why I think Black Christmas is more Christmas than Gremlins too is first and foremost the title, and then it actually involves a guy legitimately killing people with like fucking Christmas lights and shit.
Right.
So can we do Black Christmas and Gremlins 1 and 2?
Sounds good to me.
Okay. So then we're left with Better Watch Out and Krampus for 3 and 4. My pitch to you is Better Watch Out than Krampus. For the same reasons why I think that Gremlins is a better movie shot for shot than Black Christmas, but Black Christmas has a better storyline. I think that Better Watch Out has a better storyline than Krampus.
Just so you don't get through this without a little bit of an argument. My only argument against that is Krampus involves a lot more Christmas than Better Watch Out.
Yeah, you're right, because they're setting like Better Watch Out. It's like set in a
It's
house.
set in a house during
decorated,
Christmas, but like
yeah.
Christmas never really plays.
You're right. And if we're going to do Black Christmas over Gremlins, and it only makes sense. You're right. Okay. So Krampus.
Plus, you're going with something a little more established. It's only a few years more established, but more of an established folklore with Krampus. Like, Krampus has been big the last... What made that so big? At least here in... I know it's been big in Europe for a while.
Yeah.
But
Krampus?
it's gotten big here in... It was big before that movie came out. Like, when we were in college, Krampus was big.
Well,
and there were some really bad versions of Krampus movies before the...
Do you want to hear my actual
2015
theory on it?
Yeah, sure.
Hot Topic.
That's possible.
I'm just saying Hot Topic became such a big thing, and everyone's like, ooh, the anti-this, ooh, the anti-that, despite the fact that Hot Topic was the most commercial anti-whatever the fuck it is thing. But everyone was like, oh, yeah, I want to be edgy, so, like, fuck Santa Claus. What's the opposite Santa? What's the opposite of Spider-Man? Carnage. What's the opposite of Santa Claus? Krampus. So everyone like went full Hot Topic and went to Krampus. And that's why it built it up.
My answer for everything is just Satan, though.
I mean, hell, Satan. But I think at this point you saw the commercialization of Hot Topic.
What was your first thing? Spider-Man? Satan. Yeah.
Spider-Man.
Santa? Satan.
Yeah.
Yeah. That works.
Yeah. So good theory, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
The only thing that doesn't work, like fruitcake, Satan. They're on the same side.
Same level, dude. You ever get the poops from fruitcake?
Oh yeah, every time.
Satanic.
Every time.
Satanic poops.
I do like the rummy fruit bits in it.
I do too. That's why you keep coming back. It's like going to hell. You like the pain. It's like Hellraiser. You just like, give me the hooks. You're just eating the fruitcake and just shitting your pants.
So I think for the first time ever, my wife made instead of rum balls, she made bourbon balls this year.
Oh shit!
Snuck into those last night. Those were good.
Nice. Okay.
She made some ginger ones and some Oreo ones.
I'm coming over.
I'm hungry.
So, for all of our listeners who want an alternative to their Miracle on 34th Street playlist, we give you number 1, Black Christmas, number 2, Gremlins, number 3, Krampus, and number 4, Better Watch Out. These are 4 great films that can help you kind of break away from the common tropes of Christmas and maybe freak your family out so you get some alone time with some of the cool gifts you get. So, if you think your list is better than ours, please let us know, man. DWTB@gmail.com. Let us know.
And it was the same director made Black Christmas and A Christmas Story.
What?
Directed by the same man.
Wow. What a
Just a few years.
flip.
Yeah, just a few years apart.
So I'm just done being nice. I'm going to do this. So, Adam, usually we do questions, comments, and whatevs. And don't forget, too, our listener polls are dropping every Tuesday. And you just follow us at DWTB on all of our social media platforms.
None of you sent us your Spotify.
Nobody
I'm just done asking.
Nobody wanted to get made fun of. It's okay.
Maybe just text us your favorite bands, and one of us will like them.
I think so.
Not. Yeah.
We're very diverse when it comes to them, you know. But so I was thinking, since we're going to take a week off next week, we give our listeners a week off this week. So I went back to my favorite Twitter feed and found 3 questions that are insane to me.
I didn't, and for the listeners, I barely read these beforehand, so I don't really know what they are. And since I'm in the away field today, I don't have my laptop in front of me. I'm gonna try to pull them up real quick before Matt shocks me.
So
go ahead. I can think on the fly.
This Twitter feed, great. You know what? I'm gonna see if I can get this person to actually come on the show to pick their brain more about this. But for right now, I'm just gonna ask the questions.
This is the guy that's seems like a psychologist. Right?
It looks like it. I think he's written a book.
I'd like for him to come on.
I would too.
Pull our
destroy us. Yeah, pull our smooth brains like pork and make sandwiches out of it.
Mine's been slow cooking forever.
Samesies. So, Adam, how much do we discover ourselves while in the midst of a friendship or relationship? Or relationship. So whichever one's more telling for you.
I mean, I think a lot. I mean, I think I learned a lot about myself. More so my flaws than my positives, maybe, or maybe they just stick out more. I mean, because if you're just in an echo chamber of yourself, you might not know how your behavior might be negatively affecting people. I don't know, or like negative aspects of your character.
Okay.
But you know what I mean? So like if you have a friend or a significant other calling you on your bullshit, it helps you maybe see that that's not the right thing to do and lead you in the right direction. It also depends on your friends and your
That's true.
relationships.
You have a
too.
bunch of yes men around you
Right.
at all times because that gets really fucking
or just
boring.
negative influences, like
Yeah.
if you're hanging out with the local street gangs.
Yeah.
The
riff-raff.
You should be selling more drugs.
I think, and I agree with you because I always think of.
I think it molds a person, I guess is what I want to
Yeah.
say. Like it totally molds a person.
I would say too, like I think along the same lines when I'm thinking of something, and if I feel like it's kind of dumb, this is going to sound very Homerish to me, but if I'm doing something, I'm like, what would Adam say if he saw me doing this? I do find myself saying that because I respect your opinion on things a lot. So I'm like, oh man, if Adam saw me doing this thing right now, what would he say? And that helps me. So I think I do find out a lot about myself because I respect your opinion and what you say and think. So that helps me understand. It gives me a break for pause, I guess.
Yeah.
So like before I do it, I think about it, which I've always done anyway, but now there's like an extra layer. Like I think about what would my wife say? What would Adam
Right,
say? What
right.
would Lori say? Like I think of those things like because I don't want to. My goal in my life now, not to be nice to everybody, but I think my goal in life right now is to just let people know that like my morality and integrity.
This is where I'm at.
Yeah, that's where I base my
I
decision.
hate how these questions get so multi-layered for me because
Yeah.
also as I get older, I'm not taking on any new inputs. Like I don't.
No,
It's really hard for you to break in and be like influence me in any way
Yeah.
at this point.
I'm
If
solid.
if you're somebody I haven't met already, there are people like there's new people. There might be a new person every year that like just comes into my circle and I think about in that way. Like,
Yeah.
not that they influence me, but like exactly like they come into mind when I'm decision making.
Yeah,
But it's way fewer. It was almost everybody you met, you know, when you were in middle school and high school.
oh yeah,
And then you weeded some of that bullshit out in college. Then you weeded a lot of that bullshit out when you got into your professional career. And now you're in your 30s. Some of us have kids. If you have kids, it weeds it out way more,
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
sure. Because you probably get child care advice and rearing advice from everybody.
oh yeah. Well, I think the other thing too.
But yeah, it's definitely more limited now.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
but the stay trues are you're definitely like
Oh,
definitely
yeah.
you hit these stay true people. And there's even people in my life that maybe I don't keep in contact with or we had a falling out, and if they came back in I would give them just as much weight as you or my wife or somebody else. Like there's definitely been really important people in my 20s that I just haven't seen in a long time that if they moved it to Pittsburgh or
Like,
we
hell
bumped
yeah,
into
man.
each other
Yeah.
and like there were definitely people in my 20s that were very influential that nothing bad happened. It was just like
Grew apart.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was going to say, too, 3 events in my life changed the dynamics of my peer circles significantly. Buying a house, getting married, having a kid. Those 3 things in my life personally changed the complexities of my peer circles.
my God, mine are so much darker.
Yeah.
I can talk about it.
We'll talk about that off
Talk about that on a
microphone.
future episode. But yeah, no, I could definitely see that.
Yeah.
I mean, those are also like life's 3 biggest
Yeah.
stressors. Like,
It's certainly,
especially the buying the house and having kids.
dude.
Usually the marriage part's a happy time. But
Yeah,
but buying
yeah.
a house, even though it's happy, it's I'm going through now. It's very stressful, even just
Yeah.
searching. Right
Well, it's
now.
like you disappoint somebody. You did like I never knew that when you buy a house or you get married or you have a kid. I never knew this. You're disappointing somebody. Somebody's like, "Oh my God, you're getting married and I'm not invited," or you bought a house.
Oh, I didn't worry about those fucking people.
Oh, yeah.
I just said sorry. Like, sorry. It's a small list. Like,
It fucked me up. I had some people that were like super
Didn't bug
pissed
me.
about it. But then like when I had a kid, like, "I'll never see you again," and then they made that
reality.
And then when I bought a house, like, I can't believe you're living that far outside of the city.
Guilty.
Yeah.
But we still see each other.
Adam. Yeah, we see.
It's only because I was literally about,
I
like
know.
going to move where you were moving from.
Our U-Haul cars, trucks just fucking pass
Yeah,
each
just
other.
like you and my brother on the births of your children.
Yeah.
Our U-Haul trucks almost hit each other
Yeah.
as you were moving out and I was moving in.
But then again, too, it goes back to like,
I was not moving, for the listeners, I was not moving there because Matt moved. My wife just so
Bullshit.
happened to live
Bullshit.
in the same
Bullshit.
town.
He's moving to come see me. Well, no, it was
Then you're an asshole for moving out.
I am. But I think though too, it goes back to another statement I said, like, but we make the conscious effort to see each other.
Yeah, I mean, I've already gotten the house thing.
Yeah.
I talked to a good friend of ours who lives very close to where I live currently.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, we're looking for houses. He's like, oh, here in Crafton? I was like, part of the search.
Yep.
And he's like, well, where are you really looking at? And I told him a couple areas, which were literally 10 minutes away, but it is across a bridge. And he's like,
Fuck.
that bridge, though. And I'm like, yep, I'll still come see you.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know why everybody's so worried about the bridges. I don't need to hang out exclusively at rush hour. Like, we can wait till after. It's fine.
Yeah.
It happens.
Everyone's convenience becomes their priority.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
Where I think that's what I have to offer is, like, I don't have kids, so I will go out of my way to
like today.
keep relationships going. Yeah, like I'll drive. I don't care. Like, it doesn't
And it's
matter to me.
wonderful. Yeah. It's so that goes into the next question here, kinda. Do you think that it is disappointments that truly age us? Because we do face some disappointments as we grow older, people, growing apart from us and whatnot. So do you think it's disappointments that truly age us?
Oh, well, that comes with these questions are so multi-layered. Because does that mean disappointments in ourselves or disappointments in others? Because disappointments in myself, I feel like make me younger because
Okay.
it drives me. It gives me energy to drive and become better. But disappointments in other people just stress me out
Yeah.
further than they need to. Even in my 30s, I still care about those people that just not even annoy me, but literally just disappoint me. Like, oh, I thought you were this kind of person and you're this kind of person.
Yeah.
And let me give you an endless number of chances to prove yourself right. Let me give you an endless number of chances to save this friendship or whatever we have. And it doesn't work out. I think that ages me.
Oh yeah.
But I don't think I age myself in my own disappointments. I just, wallow in my self-doubt for a day and then, well, we'll do it better next time, or let's do it better right now. Depending on what, if it's a beer, let's do it better next time. If it's something around the house or at my job, let's fix that tomorrow. Like, I'll get on that right away and make it better. I don't let that stuff stress me out. If it's something I can control, it doesn't age me. Yeah. I worry too much about stuff I can't control, which is a problem.
Yes.
And that, I do think
that ages the fuck out of me. Because here's what happens. I'll do something that I'm disappointed about, and then I think about it. And then I think about it so much that I create scenarios that don't even happen, and I live in those scenarios. Worst place, in the shower. Number one, I'm having arguments in my brain that never happened and will never happen. And I can just feel my brain. I give myself headaches in the shower. And then before I go to bed, my mind will be like, as I'm closing my eyes, I'm like, why did you say this? Why did you do that? Why didn't you just do this one thing differently? So it's not so much disappointments as it is missteps stick in my brain so hard, and I can't stop thinking about them.
People tell me that shower problem all the time. I never have that.
You lucky bastard.
No, I have the sleep.
Oh yeah,
the bed one, but no, in the well, I think in the shower it's either God damn it, I gotta get to work, or God damn it, I gotta get to whatever. I just never have time to stop and think. At best, I'm like, oh, this water's warm, and I was fucking freezing.
Yeah.
That's it. I don't think about it. Everybody has, shower thoughts and shit. I was like, I'm not in there long enough.
Dude, that's, there was actually a time, it was I think it was last week, I was thinking about something, and I forgot to legitimately wash my hair. I was thinking about something, I was, taking a shower, and I got done, I went to dry my hair, I was like, my hair's still kind of dry. What the fuck's happening? I just never washed my hair.
This man bun's gonna go right up.
It did, too. I was like, I got places. Then it turned into what you're saying. I gotta go, Then I was just man bun, up, gone, out of here.
Larry king size, ready to roll.
Yep. Well, Mark Wahlberg. So lastly here, Adam, what for you is the sign that you have a unique connection with someone?
You have to go first. I don't know.
Okay. I think it's a unique connection with someone. I think I have what I lovingly call the Lay's potato chip effect. If I have a unique connection to somebody, I don't want to just have one contact with them. I want to keep having contact with them.
Yeah, I think that. I think that's definitely it. But like,
Yeah.
what triggers that? Like, what sets that off to where like you
Well-
want more than
Well, I think I think you and I have a unique relationship,
Right.
and I like to, I think my wife and I have a unique relationship, those kind of things. But to base it off, because you're here and I can
But
talk
I think
to you about
I think
it.
those are exclusively unique. Like those are two very different unique.
They're different
relationships,
uniques for
you know?
sure, but they both have the same, like, I always want to be around you and I always want to be around my wife. And we have friends in our circle, and like, I don't always want to be around them, but I always want to be around
And
you.
our friends don't always want to be around their wives.
Correct. I don't know. I think it's like when you're like, I've never thought about some other people where like I'm formulating plans in my life, like, well, how am I going to fit them into this? And I think about you when I'm making plans and like for instance, we talked about the podcast studio. Like, I'm going to try to make a full blown podcast studio here. And I was like, well, if I do it, is that like, how does that put Adam in? Like, does he have to drive here all the time? Do we have to do this or to do that? Like, how do I make it so there's enough room? And I think about you that way. And then like when I swear I was thinking about buying a car. I was like, what's the gas mileage? Like, I'm going to Adam's house all the time.
Yeah.
And it's because my connection to you, maybe unique, but
Well,
also
I knew your thought process because even when
Yeah.
you were like, you can come here Thursday or I'll go there Friday, and I immediately was just like, well, if you need me to come there anytime, I'm free
Yeah.
these days. Like, don't worry about when you can get here. I can always get there. Like,
Yeah.
if I'm free, I can get there. Like, not a big deal. I don't know because like I offer. I guess it's when I start offering myself up to like help them out with stuff. It's unique. I don't know
Yeah.
So what's the question again? Just real quick.
what for you personally is a sign that you have a unique connection with somebody?
I think it's, I don't know what gets me to the point, but it's when people are just like, hey, I'd like to. It's really just people like offering up time
Yeah.
helps, like maybe gets me to a unique,
Yeah.
like I'll talk about, what we're doing in the brewery or what we're doing on the podcast or something we have coming up.
Yeah.
I'll be like, well, let me know if you need any help. I'm always free on blank day. If you do it that day, I'm always free on blank. And I do the same thing to people when I feel like
Yeah.
I want to help them out. Like Bobby Nacho or Darren from Couch. Like if they're just like, oh yeah, we're canning on Tuesday and blah blah blah. Like I feel like it's a unique relationship if I feel like I can offer. And it won't be completely scoffed at and say, oh, if you need help, give me,
Yeah.
shoot me a text.
Right.
I'm free. Like, I think it's just, I think that time is the most valuable part of a friendship or a relationship. So, like, when people offer time, I feel like that's what takes people to the next level. That takes people from being an acquaintance to a friend.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. The offering of yourself.
Yeah. The offering of yourself or offering yourself to, like, people who offer their time to me. Whether
Yeah.
it's just they want to learn how to homebrew or whether they want to hang out while I'm brewing, or just want to come over and try beers. Like,
Yeah.
hey, you're taking your time to support what I'm doing or learn what I care about. Even if it's, I'm not saying it's self-indulgent ever. Even if they purely just want to learn homebrewing, they want to learn from me. That's
Right.
cool. And they obviously see something in me they like.
Yeah.
I'm so insecure. I feel like they have to, like, usually I need a first step taken towards me
Yeah.
before I take anything seriously because I just don't have self-confidence in myself that I'm anything important.
You're
or
a
worthwhile.
goddamn butterfly, Adam.
So it's like if somebody reaches out to me, I'm like, oh, I think we might be friends.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. But like to get to like really, really unique relationships, I don't know. I think there's something just unknown that like you just eventually make that connection with somebody and it's just set.
Yeah.
And I've had that with people and it's faded, and I've had that with people and it continues, and yeah, and then like what you said, there's people that you think of what every action or whatever you have to do that week is how is it going to convenience them or inconvenience them or make them feel. Yeah, it's
like being
that's a super loaded question.
Being considerate, I guess.
Yeah.
When you find yourself,
Yeah,
being
it's like when you
considerate.
go out of your way to be considerate for somebody, that's a unique relationship. Like way out of your way. Like
Yeah, I can agree with that because now that I look at some of the relationships I do have, I mean, I have close friends. I have a very small group of close friends, and then I have friends that I'm like, if I saw you out and we were having a beer, I might buy you a beer or something. Like that's probably the extent of it. But like you said,
but
like,
we're already there. But then there's other friends like
yeah,
if you're sick on your couch and you can't leave your house, I'll drive an hour
yeah,
to stop at Rite Aid and get you medicine. Like
right, yeah,
there's different levels. And that's also just you guys are such good friends that you could call that person to do
yeah.
that.
That's like when Adam's asshole fell out and I came over to try to mow his grass. He said no.
Use the wrong name on that.
But no, I get it, man. It's yeah, it's when you like you sacrifice yourself for somebody a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, and that's
You're giving up your time.
yeah,
Yeah.
and that's what that unique connection kind of feels like. I agree with that.
But I mean, a lot of time, like, and as far as like me giving up time, like that's the other thing. Like, where other people like, if they ask me for help, it's not me giving up my time. I'm choosing to use my time to go learn from somebody. They're giving up their knowledge at that point.
Yeah.
So like sharing knowledge is a big thing too. Like, there's so many factors.
Right.
There's just so many factors.
Yeah.
Like for me, I think the simplest thing to say though is time. Like,
Yeah.
who would you give up your time for?
It's also a test too.
Because you only have so much time.
You know what I mean? Like it's also a test. Like if you like say like you're like, oh, you drove to me today to do the podcast, and then you were like, oh man, I'm in a pinch. Can you come to me? I'm like, actually, no, I really can't. Like it's disingenuous to a degree. Like
It depends how much you've invested in that relationship, how much you trust each other.
True.
Like
Yeah.
it could be possible just like you have other factors too. You have kids.
right.
Your car's not doing well right now. Like there's other factors. Like
My
you might
car-
not be able to.
My car's throwing up oil like Adriana
Yeah,
Chechik
yeah, yeah.
throws up after a DP session. That's what's happening right now. Let's not get it twisted.
But like if you were single and had a freaking
Oh yeah.
I don't know what a fucking fancy car is. I don't know how to drive them anymore.
I just drive any car that moves right now to me
if
is
you had a
fancy
freaking
'cause
brand
mine
new
doesn't
BMW
move.
in the driveway and had no kids and weren't married, and you were like, "Yeah, I just can't make it to you today."
It's like you're an
I'd be like,
asshole.
yeah, then you're an asshole. But like, I don't know. I think that's it, and I think time means more than money. Like there's a lot of friends that I don't have anymore that I wish I had, and it doesn't. I don't care if they buy me a Christmas gift or a birthday gift or buy me a beer at the bar. Give me an hour. I'll buy you 2 beers,
Right.
And we'll still be friends.
I just
Like,
want to talk.
give me your fucking time.
Yeah, give me your ear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me know how it's going. I want to know how you're doing.
Yeah.
That's what's stressing me out more than how I know how I'm doing. How are you doing?
Yeah.
You know?
I know how I'm doing. I go to therapy. So, so Adam, we are in the throngs of the holiday season, and we are about to move into the thick of stout season. So I have to ask you, what's on tap and where can you find us?
You're going to have to beer with me, Matt, because I don't have my tap list right in front of me this week like I usually do. But we still have a little bit of the Shat-Faced Pumpkin Stout on tap. It's an 8.1 pumpkin roll stout. Hitting tap number 2, we have the Every Time I Chai tea stout coming in at 7.5%. I have quite a bit of that left, but it is going quick. Starting, what day are we at now? It's Friday, huh?
It's Friday.
Sunday, the How a Groot Stole Christmas Gruit ale is on. It is a honey cranberry lingonberry ale that is fermented on Scottish ale yeast. It's quite good. It's a little tart ale. It's not quite sour, but I would say it's tart, just with the cranberries in there. That's coming in at 7.2% this year. That'll be available the day this podcast releases. So if you're listening to it, it is ready to roll. And then on the 4th tap, we have, help me out, Matt.
Gingerbread.
The gingerbread stout,
Yeah.
which we are not naming it this, but it's unofficially being named Not My Gumdrop Buttons gingerbread ale or gingerbread stout. And that is also coming in at 7.5, just like the chai tea.
Can I offer a new name for the gingerbread?
Yeah,
Yeah.
please, because I have nothing.
Gary Busey. It's the Gary Busey.
Because he's Ginger Dead Man.
He's Ginger
I
Dead
get
Man.
that, I
Yeah,
get you.
Gary Busey.
Maybe.
Yeah. Or, hey, a toothy smile.
I was just going to say, when we make a label for it, it'll just be a big toothy smile.
Big old
A
Cheshire
big old
cat.
meth smile. Yeah, so that's it. And then we in the fermenter right now we have the little bit of the bubbly brut IPA that we sweeten with a little bit of peach, make it a Bellini inspired ale, and that'll be coming out New Year's Eve at the Jojitorium only. You will not be seeing bottles of that until 2022 if we have any left.
If we have any left, I don't know if it's going to make it to the other side.
And unless it tastes like complete crap,
Yeah.
we have a barley wine we're
Oh no!
tapping for
Oh, dude.
the Jojitorium New Year's
This
Eve
has
party.
been a beer years.
So I will say to our listeners,
yeah.
this is your invite. Message me. We are doing a little event in the Jojitorium. We are on the edge of Crafton and Green Tree, basically. So if you're in that area and can get there safely and get home safely, hit us up in our messages and we'll let you know the details. I'd love to meet a couple of you guys. Come try our beer on draft. No charge to get in. No charge for anything.
Just be safe.
Don't feel like bringing anything. If you want to bring some beers you like to share, that'll be fun. A nice little can share would be good
For sure. But again, just be safe.
Yeah. Please don't drive from freaking North Hills or something and get too drunk. Because the barley wine's 15.2%. A lot of the beers we'll have on tap are over 7%. Right. So,
and it's 2021.
Yeah, make sure you have either
Uber.
a DD or you live close or you can Uber. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Or you can sleep in the yard.
We are offering the basement for cots.
So,
yeah, you can totally sleep in the yard or sleep in your car.
You can curl up with Tucky in the yard or something, But if you want to find what's going on with Adam down the Brew Lab, just follow him at @bash_brew on all social media, and he's Bash Brewing on Facebook, and he's also on Untapped. If you want to know what's going on with the boys, just search us out at DKNWTB on all social media. Don't forget our listener polls drop on Tuesdays, and our email is always available for your questions, comments, and whatevs, DKNWTB@gmail.com. So from the Holly Jolly Christmas we have here in the Casa de la Anderson secondary Jojitorium to wherever you are listening to this podcast, Merry Christmas. Cheers.
I'm not going to let you sign off that easy.
No?
No. I have a little something I wanted to say.
Okay.
If you're listening to this Sunday morning, Sunday is the last day of couch brewing. So, if you're listening to this, you have nothing going on. I know it's the Christmas season. They're kicking their kegs today. And they've meant more to us at Bash Brew than any other brewery in Pittsburgh. They've opened themselves up to us, have been friendly to us, gave us opportunities that we wouldn't have had otherwise. So please come out, have a beer, help them kick those kegs. And say goodbye to a great establishment that didn't give a shit about snobby beer folks or what you knew about beer. They just wanted you to enjoy their beer, teach you about beer, and have a good time. And one of the best venues to drink some craft beer. So I would be remiss if I didn't throw Couch out on this last podcast to say thank you for everything you've done for me and Matt here at the Camp with the Boys and what you've done for us at Bash Brew. And I wish everybody good luck. I hope everybody at Couch, I will, see you soon and see you often once the doors close, and just to thank you.
So it's safe to say, cheers to Couch.
Cheers to Couch.
Bye, everybody.
Merry Christmas, everybody. Cheers.